الجزء الجوي وأعطاه الأول وهشام وشاب وهشام الكافرات Millstone. Peace and blessings to the host of the of the tabernacle of David, stepping up the fourth one of the earth, wherever you may be, or wherever you may be, to your Isaiah Shalom and Shalom. Right, we're going to be short. It's pretty much direct. So it says another airline files for bankruptcy protection and cancels all flights. This is from the street. Another airline files for bankruptcy protection and cancels all flights. Right, the regional airline is the latest in a string of recent shutdowns, dated May 22nd, 2026, 9:11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So while the collapse of Spirit Airlines, that was the most recent one that came up on the radar, as we talked about. Spirit Airlines is the most high-profile case. Multiple small and mid-sized airlines have had to file for bankruptcy and, in some cases, shut down operations entirely since the start of the year. Earlier this week, Mexican low-cost carrier Magna Charters filed for bankruptcy protection in the First District Court for bankruptcy proceedings in Mexico City, approximately a month after suspending all flights for what it initially hoped would be a period of 2 weeks. While the carrier initially blamed the shutdown solely operational problems, regulators stripped this AOC over a lack of financial resources severe enough to represent a risk. Joy Air enters early restructuring process in China. What else is down here? More about Joy Airline. Here we go. Spirit Airlines, Magna Charters, the Mexican low-cost airline. Starflight Aviation, Houston-based Starflight Aviation had its license AOC license revoked. Look at that. All right, AOC, huge bug. AOC license revoked in March 2026 amid FAA claims. Avia, a Slovenian charter airline, Avia, also shut down in March 2026 over financial problems. H-Bird charter airline, H-Bird was declared bankrupt, by a Swedish judge after losing its operating license at the end of 2025. It goes into some other stuff, so that's pretty much just that there. So yeah, another airline files for bankruptcy protection. We got cut off there. I'm not sure how much got cut off, but anyways, we still continue forward to make the point. So I have here how many airlines have shut down between 2025 and 2026. Just to get the most recent, most updated information. So at least 25 to 30 airlines worldwide have shut down or ceased operations between 2025 and May 2026. The aviation industry has faced a highly brutal period due to soaring jet fuel prices driven by geopolitical conflicts, elevated operating costs, and sudden regulatory actions. Shutdowns are broken down by year below. So major airline defuncts in 2025. Industry tracker reports that at least 18 airlines officially closed down or completely ceased their primary passenger or charter operations over the course of 2025. Notable failures include Play Airlines, the Icelandic low-cost carrier, collapsed and entered involuntary bankruptcy in September 2025. Silver Airways, the Florida-based regional turboprop operator, permanently shut down in June 2025. Raven Alaska, the U.S. regional carrier, ceased operations for a second time in August 2025. Wizz Air Abu Dhabi, the low-cost Middle Eastern subsidiary, abruptly shuttered on September 1st, 2025, due to extreme weather constraints and regional instability. Right, Braathens International Airways, the Swedish charter airline, wound down its jet operations in September 2025. SmartLink Latvia, the major European wet lease charter slash charter operators suffered a shocking demise in October 2025. Other 2025 casualties: Air Albania, Eastern Airways UK, Blue Islands, Volpass, Brazil, New Pacific Airlines, US, Fly Big, India, and Calapia, whatever airlines in Mexico. So airline defunct in 2026, year to date. So I'm just looking at 2026. So from the top of 2026 to now, the financial bleeding carried over into 2026, leading to several high-profile bankruptcies and emergency liquidations. Spirit Airlines is the most recent one talking about. Spirit Airlines, the largest and most shocking airline collapse of the era. The U.S. low-cost giant abruptly went out of business and canceled all remaining flights on May 2nd, 2026, following severe jet fuel spikes linked to the Iran war, which is something I was going to mention, all right? Because you have this Hormuz Strait. A part of what's happening is jet fuel prices. Okay, so airplanes and jets are really used, flying vehicles. So it takes a lot, to fill them up. So anyways, the point being is that plays a major into some of these flights. And then you have these diseases going around, okay, off of cruise ships and other stuff like that, okay, Ebola and all these different things like that, okay, and a lot of these flights are being I don't want to say triangulated, but I don't really know the word I'm looking for, but yeah, we just say triangulated, slim down to certain, like flights or whatever. Okay, so it's almost like Esau. Well, of course it's like Esau playing. Of course it's coming out, right? Because these devils have been working on their agenda for a long time ago. So you have jet fuel prices, certain, not even just certain, because this is a huge number, 5 alone. All right, of airlines that are shut down. Okay, and then you have just even spreading at the same time, jet fuel prices, and so there's a lot of elements that go into each and every scenario because there's a lot of different crises happening right now all at one time. Okay, and it's beautiful. All right, because these are the signs of time of the end. These things have to happen. Okay. Madness, chaos, confusion, all these different things before you can return. But let's keep going. It says Magnet Charters, the Mexican low-cost airline, which I believe that was mentioned already. I think it was, had its air operator certificate (AOC) revoked by regulators and filed for bankruptcy protection in May 2026. I need a good nap real quick. Well, it's only 3:29. Ascend Airways, the UK-based charter airline, operated a fleet of Boeing 737 before announcing its permanent closure in April 2026. EcoJet, the innovative British hydrogen electric startup, entered voluntary liquidation in January 2026 after burning through its funding. Okay. Dove Airlines, the Indian charter airline, officially entered voluntary liquidation on January 5th, 2026. Tailwind Air, the New York-based East Coast commuter airline, filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in early 2026. All right, AOC replications. Carriers like Hbird, which that was mentioned, Sweden, Starflight Aviation, US, Alp Avia, that was mentioned, Slovenia, and Mali Air, Austria, were forced into shutdowns after losing their operating licenses due to financial or safety failures. All right, so it was either financial or safety, or as far as we know, it could have been a little bit of both, right? So, yeah. So all those lost their air operator certificate. Okay, that's it right there. All right, so I want to actually go over here and grab something else before we close it out. Just a quick verse. Actually, we can go on here. Chapter 8. On verse 50, it says, "For many great miseries shall be done to them in the latter time shall dwell in the world because they have walked in great pride. And I want to go over here and get this word misery. See what Google might give us. Anything? Misery. A state or feeling of great distress or discomfort of mind or body. Yeah, people are complaining about, they got to get refunds for flights, or they can't take this flight, or, people going and might get stuck somewhere, especially if there's an area of conflict, you may definitely get stuck. Because they actually, they post these things where it tells you about travel advisory. I used to have one of those, like these little, things that I share, like, open creative works, the executive orders, like little pages and stuff like that I keep, okay? Other some other stuff, news and headlines and stuff. But yeah, so you get the point. But, I used to have a little, a small page, I think it was on my old device, where it'll tell you about all flights that are canceled, especially, mainly from, conflict areas, right? Places that are currently, fighting on each other, all right? So it'll tell you if it's travel advisory, or if they'll tell you not to fly at all, or whatever the case may be. But I guess people don't pay attention to those types of things, all right? Because, a lot of people who have the money to just go off and travel and do what they want to do, go here and there, they don't care. They don't think about what's going on in the world. Most of these people don't. That's why those YouTube videos are made with people talking about, Iran, stepping around and dropping bombs. This is different, bro. Yeah, because you didn't pay attention to the world. All right, your life was revolving around what you could do, okay, and that was what and not paying attention to what was actually going on around you, okay. So a lot of people who have the liberty to just throw their money around, they do things like that without actually paying attention to their surroundings and not even really truly researching where they're going. All right, a lot of Americans go over to different places. All right, even Keisha and stuff like that. Okay, and not understanding the laws and the rules and the regulations of this other land that they're going to, and then they wonder why they press charges and stuff like that. Okay, because you just think because I got money that I can just do whatever the hell I want to do. All right, but see, America is a wicked, and it's a spreading place. It's ways that is. All right. And so people here in America think they can go across seas and take the ways that they've learned here in America to other places, and it doesn't fly for them like that. But getting off that topic here, it also says the cause of source of great distress or discomfort. Plural noun, misery. So there's one. Misery is a war, right? Similar words: unhappiness, distress, wretchedness, hardship, suffering, affliction, anguish, anxiety, angst, torment, torture, hell, agony, pain, discomfort. Yeah, why is hell not talking about fire? Yeah, I might try to describe it here. See, look, yeah, it's going to describe it like this, but anyway, you get it. Hell is not a place burning under your fire. All right, it's a condition. Agony, pain, discomfort, deprivation, poverty, grief, heartache, heartbreak, despair, heartbrokenness, despondency, dejection, depression, desolation, gloom, gloominess, low spirits, morosynthesis, doldrums. I can't even pull that one up because it's whited out. Melancholy, melancholia, woe, woe, sadness, sorrow, the blues, and dolor. Great sorrow or distress, often used hyperbolically. He related his fellow woe to me. Alright, so yeah, many great miseries. And, well, I guess you don't do that. Is it in 15? Let me go back here. See if I can grab that. It is in 15. I'm gonna find out in a second here. Yeah, here you go. A man shall, 2 Edges 15 and 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Or you got war, which they issue travel advisory. You got flights canceling, so by default, you're stuck until you can find another flight. Or you gotta get a refund entirely because maybe you're home, you never even caught the flight because it was canceled. So you gotta get a refund, all right? And then you have diseases that are traveling abroad, okay? And what was it, LA or somewhere? I forget exactly what it was. It was somewhere. They were saying that people have to go to a certain place with flights because they have a certain special check area, all right, that you have to go through. Okay, and who's to say that higher up hasn't been given the word to say, hey, even though this person doesn't check off, let them through anyway, just tell them they check. Because we know Esau, what he's doing, man. We see the playbook, all right? You know how the quarterback got the little strap on his arm, he opened it up, there's a slave in there. Well, the camera's looking right at Esau's arm with the playbook open, okay? So we see what he's doing, man. As I mentioned before, he's already said it's Trojan horse, all right? Got all these different variants of diseases, and then America has this financial problem going on. All right, moving to this Great Depression type state. We got flights that are canceling. So there's just so many things that are happening right now. It's just so much to talk about. Okay, I can't catch everything, but yeah, this is minor, but at the same time major because a lot of things are shutting down. All right, there's several like Dollar Generals around, my city here, but there's one that's very near to me, not too far from me, and that one is closing, store closing, all right? And you have stores that are constantly closing, all right? AI is taking people's jobs. Oh, I deleted those two, I forgot. But anyway, you guys mentioned something about that, how Trump is saying that AI is creating a lot of jobs, and so on and so forth. And these people are booing, these speakers of AI. People don't want to hear about AI anymore. They want to hear they're going to get their pockets increased or whatever they think because people are struggling. And those are not the answers that they're going to get, right? Whether it be politicians or whoever it may be, okay? It's just not the answer that they're going to get, okay? Because Esau has a plan that has nothing to do with the American citizens, okay? Except for them being, permanent slaves. But, that's something quick. I wanted to, jump into real quick. Just another airline closing down, and I wouldn't say like 25 to 30 airlines have closed down between 2025 and 2026. And that's a lot in a short amount of time. You're talking about airlines, okay? So, and they said that they're most of it because they're either filing for bankruptcy or whatever the case may be, and they're getting their licenses revoked, or it was from, which is the craziest one, like mechanical failures and things of that nature, right? So hey, but this is where we are, all right? We're at the end of Esau's age, all right? Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. And these things are going to keep getting worse and worse and worse. These things are going to keep happening over and over and over, all right? Until this place is destroyed, all right? And how will that come? So I'm gonna leave it at that. But we do edify Shalom.